Good morning, everyone. I'm Kerry McElroy, and you're watching Aim for Stronger today. We've got a great show for you, as always. Hey, it's a holiday weekend this weekend, so I know lots of people are, on vacation. The great news this week was that Governor Baker here in the state of Massachusetts, where we're shooting this segment, we're in phase 3. So all the places that we have been working out of get to open if they're a gym or a boutique or yoga studios, what have you. So we're excited about that. But we also know that a lot of you are still interested in staying virtual, looking for things you can do at home. So we're starting off today with lots of quality exercises, some legs from me, some shoulders from Patty, and some core work from Barb O'Donnell. And then at the end, Vivian's going to show us some recovery stuff. I don't know about you, but I've been doing a lot of bike riding and a lot of walking and running, and my hips are, they really need some foam rolling. So Vivian's got some great stuff for us today at the end. So stay tuned for some great recovery work, because hey, your workouts are only as good as your recoveries, right? Recovery time you give yourself. So, all right. So again, without further ado, we're going to start right off with Miss Patty Chin showing us a great shoulder workout, some combinations. So over to you, Patty.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm going today to demonstrate, first of all, I'm going to demonstrate the long angle dumbbell row. In order to do that, I'm picking something to lean against that's a little bit lower, about a little bit lower than my waist. I'm using one 10-pound dumbbell. And so when we think about a back row, of course, it's done like this. This here is not going to be a back row. This is going to be more targeting the rear delt. So I'm going to do it, if I were doing, some people do, they're still taking care of the rear delt this way, but it involves a little bit of the back. The bicep helps bringing it up. But this here is going to target more the rear delt right in here, right here. So I'm going to take my arm, I'm going to relax my shoulder down. I'm going to keep this wide angle. That's where the wide angle comes in. I'm coming up here and taking it back down to that full extension. Coming up. Almost like you want to go up and just breathe by the pocket, if there was a pocket there. So up. Taking it back down. Coming up. Taking it back down. That feels really good. Up. Taking it back down. So again, with that being said, I've got taken out the bicep so much, the upper back, and targeting the rear delt right here. So you want to make sure you're not bending your wrist. You're just coming up high enough right here. You don't want to torque with it. Keep it straight. One more time. Coming up, holding for a second, and taking it back down. Try not to flex your shoulder during that time or contract it. Okay, so second of all, I'd like to do what's called the Arnold press. I'm going to move the screen just a little so you can see the top. Okay, so I'm going to do this seated. So with the, I got 10-pound dumbbells in each hand. So I would, just to show you exactly the move, I'm coming up like you would finish a bicep curl. Sitting up straight. I go up, I'm doing a rotation. Try not to let the elbows flare out too much. Now, I'm touching all areas of the shoulder. The front, the lateral slightly, and the rear. So I'm coming up. Keeping it together. Back. Palms are now facing me. I'm going into the rotation. Palms out at the top. Coming back down. When you put those two moves together, the long angle dumbbell row that I just did, and then coming down with the Arnold press, you are then able to touch all areas of the shoulders, and that's all I'm going to do for today. But give it a shot. It's different. Remember, when you go in here, you've got a lot of people do the row, a lot of people go back, but this one here is going to keep that angle long, coming up right here. So you should be able to feel that targeting right there in your rear delt.
I love it, Patty. That's awesome. I'm going to use that one on my Facebook Live on Tuesday. I'm definitely putting that one in. I love it. All right. Oh, thanks, Patty. Over to Barb to show us a little bit of core work.
Okay, hi everyone, happy 4th. So when I'm doing my core, I like to work all the way around, to get a good balance. So your low back, your obliques, just all the way around. So I have a little bridge series and planks. And a question I get a lot is, when you're in a plank, what is neutral spine? So your spine has 3 natural curves. To have a healthy back, you have 3 curves. One is your cervical into your thoracic, and then your thoracic into your lumbar, down into your lumbar to pelvic, to your pelvis. So a neutral spine, how we start with a neutral spine, or how we find it, is you're gonna lie all the way down. You have your feet in alignment with your hips and your knees, and your hands are by your side. If you take a deep breath, fill your lungs, and all of a sudden you can kind of put your hand under here. Right now I have a neutral spine. If I exhale and I drive my belly button into the mat, now I have a pelvic tilt. So neutral spine, pelvic tilt. So when I'm doing a plank, I want a neutral spine. Okay, so here's the series. Ready? I'm gonna lie all the way down. Here's my bridge. Push up, my hips go up to the sky. I have my heels right under my knees. And I'm gonna do 10 reps. After I do 10 reps, I'm gonna turn to the side. I'm gonna have my elbow right under my shoulder. Now there's different levels of plank. If you can just right here, knees on the ground, if you're not strong enough, or if you're working your way up to a full plank, you can come all the way up to a plank. Arm can come up, leg can come up. And then I'm gonna turn into a regular plank. Again, your knees can be on the ground, belly pulled in tight. Okay, right here I have my neutral spine, popping right up, neutral spine. You can bring it up to your hands.
Awesome.
Back down. You can tap out. And that's what I do.
Barb,
For
that's
night
awesome.
before,
I love it.
working.
I love it. Barb, I just have a quick question for you, because we see a lot of this. I'm sure people see a lot of this in gyms, but when you were doing those bridges, Barb, I see a lot of people, we see a lot of people who put a plate or a bar across their hips for plate loaded bridges. How do you feel about that? Is that necessary?
That's absolutely fantastic. So I have a bad back or weak back, so I have to start up with light weights. I would say just be cautious of the weight you're using, but I love that. A little bar across, or if you're at home, just put like a milk jug, kettlebell. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
Good low back work, yeah.
Good. Awesome, Barb. Beautiful. I love it. You went all the way around. I love that explanation of neutral spine and pelvic tilt. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to show you a little bit. I'm just going to bring my laptop up here for a minute. You guys can see me. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of legs here. And again, I'm going to do a combination. So I'm just going to grab 2 pretty light dumbbells, 10-pounders again. And I'm just going to, you can't see my face, but that's okay. I just want you to see my body. So we're going to start with real basic stuff. I'm going to hold let me face you this way. I'm going to hold my dumbbells. My heels are just slightly outside my hips. Turn my toes out. And it's just sitting back for a basic squat. Okay, make sure you get those hips back. And you're just sitting back for a basic squat. Nothing crazy. So what's working here? You've got your hamstrings, your glutes, and your quads. So let me show you. So again, so we know when we're talking about this, your hamstrings is the back of the leg, your quads, and you got 2 quad insertions, well, 4 quad insertions really, but 2 halves of the quads, lateral and medial here, and then of course your glutes, okay, the gluteus maximus. So lots of things are firing there. Then we're going to add to this to kind of add to the core work that Barb was doing, some deadlifts. And I see people doing deadlifts crazy in all, many of the places that I'm working when they're not working with a trainer, of course. So I'm going to pick up, and it goes without saying, you don't really even need plates or anything. You can just do a deadlift with just a bending down and working the low back. I'm going to use plates just to give myself a little bit more of a bend, but you don't need to go low. So when we do a deadlift, we're still working the hamstrings and the glutes, but we're adding a little bit more low back into the exercise, okay? So now we're going to bring our heels just a little bit closer, because you don't want to be too far when you're bending forward. You're going to hurt the back. So now the heels should be pretty much underneath the hips. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And just the tip toward the knees, nice flat back, stand up to the heels, okay? Now, you'll see folks in gyms, here's the side view, going all the way down and standing back up putting their bar down and standing. So that's fine. I mean, you're looking at, you know, some professional power lifts, but it's not necessary if you're at home just trying to engage your hamstrings and glutes and strengthen that low back. So again, heels underneath hips. Here's the side view, just tipping forward, driving up through the heels. Really push those hips back. You're really going to work the hamstrings, the glutes, and the low back in that order as we stand, okay? So again, nothing really crazy. And again, you don't have to go low, maybe just slightly below the knee, depending on how flexible your lower back is. I'm going to add one more in to make a combination. This one's really going to engage the glutes on your strong leg side. So this one's called a toe-up squat. And we used to do these when we were bodybuilding just to actually more or less work on our posing, but it also brought in the glute and really kind of finished off the exercise. So we started out with a squat, then we did a deadlift. Now we're going to do a squat where our heels are fairly close, okay? Maybe just our hip width apart, maybe slightly closer. And I'm going to lift up one toe and just come down for a little bit of a squat. So really, it's almost like a one-legged squat, okay? So I've lifted my left leg, and I'm on my right leg. I'm still pushing through my heel, so I'm engaging my glute and hamstring on that foot that's all the way down. But because one leg's up on a toe, I'm really supporting myself on that right leg a little bit more, okay? So here's the side view here. So this time on my left leg, and you're really going to feel, it's almost like a one-legged squat with a toe down. So you really feel the glute engage. So we've got quads, hamstrings, glutes, some nice combination moves. Everybody wants shapely glutes, right? All right. Questions, gals? All right, we're going to turn the floor over to Vivian, who's going to show us some nice recovery work with foam rollers, a real art form here, folks. So over to you, Vivian.
Hi, everybody. First, I want to tell you why you should foam roll, as opposed to like say, oh, I stretch, so I don't need to foam roll. I've been foam rolling for over 20 years now. And with foam rolling, you get flexibility and mobility. And I'm going to just give you a quick demonstration why, you know, you should integrate foam rolling into your workout system. So I take a tube here. So say you have a knot, and oh, I'm just going to stretch. So you have a knot, say maybe in your shoulder, in your leg. And so if you stretch, you see that knot, it just gets tighter. It doesn't release. So if you stretch that knot, it's going to stay tight. So what foam rolling does is slowly we work that muscle by kneading it with different types of foam rollers. Some have different thicknesses, like this is thick. This is a little softer, depending on how tight that knot is, because when you foam roll, that's going to hurt. So that knot comes undone because we're foam rolling, and then we can stretch. So I really like to foam roll before we even do any stretching or dynamic stretching, even before you warm up. So foam rolling. Again, different densities. This is thicker. You've been foam rolling for a while, you want a little harder surface. If you're new to it, this is a little softer because you don't want to put trauma onto your muscle. So what we're trying to do is soften up the fascia. Our muscles encased in fascia. So you get those little knots and you're like, oh, that's tight right there. So that's what we're trying to break down. So if I have my son here, I'm going to, you know, you can foam roll your whole body, but for time purposes, I'm just going to show shoulders, which a lot of people have, you know, stress and tension through their shoulders, and also your IT band, maybe your glute. All right, so here we go, real quick. Fox, come over here. He's going to demonstrate so you can see him. So he's going to put this foam roller. There's all different sizes too. If you don't have a big house, you can get this little 18-inch one, and then a half one too. If you don't like to roll back and forth on it, so Fox. He's going to lie on it mid-back. So this is for your upper back and sort of shoulders. Your knees are bent, and he's got it mid-back. So ladies, where your bra line is, okay? So your hands are supporting your head. I'm going to bring my phone over here. And so can you see him and the foam roller? So he's looking up to the ceiling, and he's going to roll in small increments to the top of his shoulder. So come up and back down. So he's going to bring his legs out a little bit more because you don't want to, you know, put stress on the knees. So can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. So you want to go small little increments, like 1 to 2 inches. You don't want to go down the whole back. So it's 1 to, you know, 2 inches, soft little rolls 3 times. Then you work your way up to the top of the shoulder. Now he can hit the shoulders and the back a little bit more by bringing his elbows to his ears. So, and if you hear crunch, crunch, that's okay. You're breaking up that fascia. All right. And I'm going to show you another one where he's going to support his head with one hand, right? See that? With that one hand, and he's going to rotate towards me. So he gets more into that shoulder armpit. How's that feel, Fox?
Good.
All right. So if it hurts too much, this is too hard for you, and you're going to put your muscles into trauma. All right. So that's your shoulders. You're going to hit both sides. So now he's going to sit on it, the foam roller. See how he sits on the foam roller? His knees are bent, all right, and his hands are back behind the foam roller. All right, so he's going to hit the glute right here, the medius right here. So what he's going to do is he's going to put this ankle onto that knee. He's going to tip towards me, and he's going to roll right there. Do you feel that, Fox?
Yep.
So if it's too much for him, he's going to take this off, this ankle off, and that gives you a little bit less pressure. See that? Can everybody see that? There it is. All right. And then if he wants to get a little deeper, he'll put that foot back up onto there and rotate more into it and back and forth. Feel that?
Yep.
All right. So we got, I'm going to do one more. All right. This is the neck, because some people have problems with the neck because they're always looking at their phone, and this feels great. So what he's going to do is he's going to lie down on his back. He's going to put this foam roller, you know those 2 nodules on the back of your head? He's going to put that foam roller right there. See that? And his arms are coming out. And if this doesn't bother your shoulders, you're going to put your palms to the ceiling and tip your chin down so you get that nice stretch.
Vivian, pull your screen down a little bit so we can see you. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
That nice stretch. Okay. So he's going to tip his chin towards me and rotate just a little. And he's going to breathe and just hold that. And then he's going to go to the other side and tip your chin down. And now he's going to go slowly, rotate back and forth to me. That nice, slow, slow stretch. And this should feel awesome, actually. What do you think, Fox?
Yeah.
It feels awesome. And also here, he's opening up his chest too, which, you know, we tend to forward roll a little bit. So this is a great opening in the chest. And so those are like 3 areas that you can use to foam roll, and you can foam roll your whole body. If you know, want to contact me and do a one-on-one, and I can help you with, you know, runners need it because their IT bands get tight. You can foam roll your calves. I mean, inner thigh, pec, you name it, you can foam roll it.
Yeah,
okay.
That's awesome, Vivian. Folks, if you're watching out there, that's no joke. I mean, it really, I've watched both Vivian and Barb at the Gold's Gym that we worked at. I've watched them help people foam roll, and they are excellent. You know, it really is something that you need, but you really want to do it right. You don't want to just plop yourself down the foam roller, because you could hurt yourself. So definitely give Vivian or Barb a call, and you know, they can really help. So go to our website, Aim for Stronger, and check us all out. But particularly if you have any questions or you're interested in doing any virtual training or one-on-one training with us, those of us that work at individual places, check us out. You can email us directly or text us directly off that website. Any last minute words, Miss Patty Chin?
Well, I really enjoyed the foam roller part. That was really great. You know, I myself, I've been foam rolling probably just the same area all the time, talking about the IT band area. But that was great, seeing the shoulder and the neck, so important. It was really good.
Yeah, me too, Patty. I totally agree. I don't have a lot of experience with foam roller, so I love watching the gals. You know, Barb,
Yeah.
any last minute thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, foam rolling is a lifesaver. just meeting out the muscles, the fascia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be kind to each other, be kind to yourself,
That's right,
be
Barb.
great.
That's right. Vivian, anything?
One other thing with foam rolling, it's not duration, it's consistency and frequency. The more you do it, the better you're gonna feel. So you can do short little segments, but more often than, I'm gonna foam roll for, 15 minutes or something like that.
Okay, awesome. Great. Again, some great stuff today. Hey, show your friends, talk about it, share it, subscribe to our Aim for Stronger YouTube site. So thanks for watching. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, have a great day.
Bye.